Hello, welcome to my video again. My name is Kat, and today we have a little presentation about this costume jewelry brooch, pin brooch. And as you can see, it's costume. It's not real gold. It's only gold tone. The metal that was used for this type of jewelry was would be considered very cheap. It looks like the metal is kind of silver tone underneath, but it has been gilded. And what's intriguing about this brooch to me, it's quite chunky, which is something that we can definitely associate with 80s and 90s jewelry. But it's also it's got this opulent style, so like a Baroque type of brooch. And we have this miniature photograph, or it's supposed to look like a miniature painting, which was very popular during the Georgian era specifically. What we see here is this central panel that has been inserted, inside this setting. And I suppose, there were different panels inserted into these settings with different images. I remember as a child during the 80s, there was still production, lots of costume jewelry shops, specifically where I was born in Prague. And I think that's interesting that there is a sign that there might have been originally the idea of loop here, because lots of antique jewelry also were not only brooches, that they had a little loop that you could actually wear as a necklace or a choker, and they would be in a style of a locket, where you could insert a picture of your loved one, of your important family member. And look at the beautiful lady, that's presented to us on this image, which obviously is a paper. It's a kind of little photograph of a Baroque lady with this really opulent style head and this beautifully decorated dress. It looks like velvet or satin with a bow in the center. I think it looks like she's wearing pearls or coral, maybe something that women would definitely wear in those days. Wealthy women, judging from her hair, the way they are stylized, and also the head that almost looks like it's got foxtail on it, but I suppose there might be feathers. Birds were definitely very popular at the time. And then we've got these beautiful embellishments here in a form of leaves and flowers. Leaves and flowers were definitely very important decoration for jewelry during the Georgian and Victorian era. And we've got this etching on the side, which again, all of the little details, do you see like the lines here? All of these details would add the kind of opulence, which means like over the top style. And then we've got mechanic loop on the back, very secure. These loops were produced, from the late 40s maybe onwards. Very much used in the 80s and 90s. And then we've got serial number here. I first thought that it might have the name of the maker, but it's got like a serial number in the form of a letter M, and then numbers 195. Why would be the locket or picture brooches or pendants important at the time. We're talking about the era during which people kind of paid attention, put like tribute to their loved ones, to their family members, and they would want to be associated with specific people. So particularly for people of this status, you know, normal people, ordinary people at the time could not afford to wear or buy any jewelry. You know, there was no costume jewelry produced at the time. People of like peasants or common people would probably just use stones, you know, to create like necklaces or something, or flowers. But only people of high status and rich people, wealthy people at the time could afford things like that, because these things would be produced at the time using real gold, and sometimes instead of glass they would use rock crystal, you know, like a see-through stones, and there would be miniature hand-painted pictures of people. So the portrait paintings would be the photographs of the time, because there was no photography yet. So yeah, that's something, you know, that's that kind of opulence, you know, over the top styles that we can see in Golden Goal series and many other series, like the Nanny as well, you know, that was a bit later, but she still wore lots of like chunky jewelry. It was just in at the time, because I remember the time I was 13, 14, you know, in the 90s, and I really enjoyed it. Anyway, this will be probably quite short presentation, because I just wanted to show you this lovely piece. I found it very intriguing, and yeah, I always have to remind you that anytime you are interested in any of the item that I present to you in my videos, you can just leave a comment underneath the video, and I will basically post a link to a specific shop, because I've got many different shops, you know, focusing on different types of jewelry. So that's that. You can also approach me towards the shop linked below this video, and all the items that I am presenting you here are open to offers. So I'm definitely, you know, willing to go down with the price, because I always want to make sure that these items go to the right hands, and I basically do not take jewelry for granted, even though I've got very expensive pieces. You know, even pieces like this is something that really intrigues me, because I always imagine the manufacturers, you know, the people who were wearing them at the time, and it's very exciting. You know, it's a very exciting piece to wear, and I really do believe that these pieces will be trendy again. So I hope you have enjoyed my little presentation about costume jewelry today, and I might see you in my next presentation sometimes in the future, and bye bye for now.